Hey, it's Carmina. Welcome to Walk It Off the Virtual Walking Club. My name is Carmina Mevs. I am a certified health and Walk 15 coach. And tonight, I want to talk to you about what I think the worst thing about success is. And it might surprise you. And does not come from me. I've actually heard it from one of my mentors a long time ago. And she used to say, her name is Danny Johnson, and she used to say, the worst thing about success is a little bit. And for a while, it didn't really dawn on me, like where she was going with it. It took me a while to get to the heart of why there was such wisdom in that sentence, and the reason I say that is most of us, when we try something and we fail at it, the natural reaction is to look at it from a different angle and to try again, right? Obviously, we are to a point we try so many times we fail and we quit. That's a different story. But for most of us, if we fail at something once, we're going to go at it from a different angle and maybe look to see, maybe I missed something the first time. And, our brain's going to start working to figure out, like, how do I succeed at it? And that's why the worst thing about success is a little bit, because when you have a little bit of success, three things happen. At least I find in my case, these are the three things that happen for me when I try something. I'm mildly successful at it. It's not a huge success, but something worked, right? And so what tends to happen to me is that, one, I get cocky, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, I figured this thing out. There's nothing else to learn here, right? So I remember when I was first starting my business and I was placing Facebook ads, I was getting some good success. I was getting leads and, it was working. So I was like, oh, okay. I figured that out, but I really had not, right? There's so much more to learn about it, but because I had a little bit of success in it, it made me cocky and complacent, and I kind of stopped trying, right? The other thing that happens to me when I'm a little bit successful at something is that I get impatient, right? Because when I do something and it's not an epic fail, but it's not a big success, I look at the results and I'm like, that's it? I thought it was going to be more. And so what tends to happen is that I stop doing it altogether. Has that ever happened to you? Whether it has to do with a new way of working or a new exercise routine. You start doing it, you have some success, maybe you lost a pound or two, right? And then you're like, oh, that's it? That must not be working. So let me stop that and go find something else, right? Well, the reality is what you were doing was working, but you just needed to give it time to see the fruition of it. So that's the second thing. The third thing that I am so guilty of, right, is once I'm successful at something, I start making it harder than it needs to be, right? Because in my crazy head, I'm like, oh, it was easy. I must not be doing it right? Because, it's almost like there's something ingrained in our nature that wants things to be difficult. Like if something is not hard enough, then there's something we're doing wrong, right? Is it possible that we could perhaps reframe, our expectation and accept that some things in life are easy. They are simple. Well, okay, let me take back the easy. They're not necessarily easy, but they can be simple. Just because something is simple doesn't mean that it doesn't have value, or it doesn't have this, enough sophistication to bring about the results that you want, right? And I see that a lot in the area of health and fitness, where we kind of tend to go towards the complicated things, the things that make us suffer the most. Like if I'm not suffering while I'm doing this diet or while I'm doing this exercise, I will not be getting the results. And nothing can be further from the truth, right? So I don't know, at least for me, this is what happens when I start getting success in things. I try them and then I get either cocky, impatient, or I make it much harder on myself than it needs to be. So I don't know about you, but this is what happens for me. And I'm really curious to hear from you and see if I'm the only one who feels that way about having a little bit of success. All right. So with that, I'm going to wish you a really good night. I'm happy it's Friday. I'm sure you are too. And hopefully you're not working tomorrow. And so you'll have a chance to relax and enjoy your weekend. And hope to see you here next week. All right. Take care. Bye for now.